You ever notice how fast new financial apps are just popping up everywhere? It feels like every single week there's a new digital wallet, a new investment app, some new way to manage your money. And they all look amazing. They work instantly, and they seem to come out of nowhere. I mean, how is that even possible? Well, today, we're going to find out.
No, seriously, think about the apps on your phone right now. Maybe you use Chime for your checking, or Robinhood for stocks, maybe SoFi for a loan. They all have to do incredibly complicated stuff, connect to the global financial system, issue cards, track every single transaction, and, keep your money safe. Building that from the ground up, that would take years and literally hundreds of millions of dollars. So, what's their secret?
Exactly. The secret is that the huge majority of these cool, innovative FinTech companies, they aren't starting from zero, not even close. They're doing something way, way smarter. They're plugging into a powerful, pre-built engine that does all the heavy lifting for them.
And one of the biggest, most important engines in this whole space is a company called Galileo. Now, you probably don't know their logo, you might not have even heard the name, but if you use any modern financial apps, there's a very good chance you're using their tech without even realizing it. They're the invisible engine powering your digital wallet. So let's do it. Let's pull back the curtain on this giant of the fintech world. What exactly is Galileo? And how in the world did it become so fundamental to how we handle our money today?
Okay, so this is the most important thing to get right off the bat. Galileo is a technology company, not a bank. The best way to think about them is that they provide all the complex plumbing, all the pipes, the valves, the processors that let money flow securely and instantly. Then other companies come along and build their unique apps, the beautiful faucets and fixtures that you actually see and use right on top of that infrastructure.
And get this, they've been at it for a long, long time. They were founded way back in 2000. They spent almost 2 decades just perfecting their payments platform. But here's where things got really interesting. 2017. That's when they opened up their technology, their APIs, to developers everywhere, and that just lit the fuse for an absolute explosion of innovation, which led to them being acquired by SoFi in 2020 for a massive $1.2 billion.
So, what's actually in this plumbing or engine? What are we talking about here? It's probably best to think of it as a powerful toolkit, almost like a set of financial Lego bricks that developers can use to build just about any product they can dream up.
All right, the first key tool is the API. I know that sounds super technical, but stick with me. The concept is really simple. Just imagine you're at a restaurant. You get a menu, right? You don't need to know how the kitchen works or how to cook the food. You just pick an item from the menu, give your order, and the kitchen delivers it. Well, an API is basically a menu for software developers. They can order services like create a new bank account or issue a debit card without having to build the entire kitchen themselves. The second piece of magic is something called a webhook. This is the secret sauce behind all those real-time updates we love. Think of it as an automatic alert system. The instant you swipe your card at a store, a webhook fires off a message to your banking app, telling it exactly what just happened. That's what allows for instant notifications, real-time fraud checks, that whole seamless experience we just expect now. So using these tools, a developer can literally assemble a full-blown financial product piece by piece. These one API to create your account, another one to issue you a virtual or a physical card, and a few others to connect to all the major payment systems. It's this modular, building block approach that lets them build such complex services so quickly and reliably.
Okay, so now we get how the technology works. But let's talk about scale. Because the impact that Galileo has had on the financial world is, well, it's just staggering.
160 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how many financial accounts are enabled by Galileo's platform. They process billions upon billions of transactions every single year, all just humming along and visibly in the background. It's absolutely wild. So why are so many companies choosing Galileo? Well, it really boils down to 4 main things. First, speed. They can launch a new product in months, not years. Second, control. Those real-time webhooks let them customize everything, from how the app feels to you to their own fraud rules. Third, scale. They know the platform won't just crash on Black Friday. And finally, reach. One single connection to Galileo is a connection to the entire global payment ecosystem. It's a no-brainer.
This quote really just nails it. When someone calls you an API standard, that means you're not just another player in the game anymore. It means you've become part of the playbook itself. You are the foundational tech that everyone else builds on. And that is a huge, huge testament to Galileo's power and its reliability.
So all of this, it leads to a really fascinating and honestly a pretty disruptive conclusion. The work that companies like Galileo are doing isn't just changing how banks are built, it's changing what a bank even is. Yeah, thanks to this whole banking as a service model, pretty much any company can now embed financial products directly into its own app. I mean, your favorite clothing store could offer you a branded debit card, your airline could offer a savings account tied to travel points. This whole trend is called embedded finance, and it means banking services are moving out of the bank and into the apps we already use every single day.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question. When the technology to be a bank is available to anyone as a simple toolkit, what does that mean for the future of finance? What will a bank even look like 10 years from now, and who's going to build it? The answer, well, it's still being written. But the one thing we know for sure is that invisible engines, just like Galileo, are going to be the ones powering it.